What's up, guys? It's Nevanod back here with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my top 10 superstars of the week of December 8th, 2019. This is from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. It was a very impressive week, a very good week for Monday Night Raw, for SmackDown and NXT. I do think NXT had a better show this week, but SmackDown and Raw did put up a good show as well. But let's get down with the top 10. So, we have, at the number 10 slot, we have, from Monday Night Raw, we have the OC. We have the OC from Raw, and they did win their triple threat match. But after the match, we've seen Randy Orton, RKO, AJ Styles. So that's what they are at the number 10 slot. They are also at the number 10 slot because all they did was win the match. They didn't really, and they also attacked Randy Orton, but that was all they really did this week, and it wasn't enough to get a higher placement. Next up at the number 9 slot, we have Finn Balor. We have Finn Balor at the number 9 slot because Finn really was a crucial part in the main event on NXT. I can't wait to see that triple threat between Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, and Finn Balor next week. And Finn Balor's just been killing it week after week, and I wonder if he's going to win that triple threat match and be the new number 1 contender and maybe be the new NXT champion. We have at the number 8 slot, The Revival. We have The Revival at the number 8 slot. They did win the number 1 contendership Fatal 4-Way match, and it was a very good Fatal 4-Way match. I have to give it to them. And I can't wait to see what The Revival do at TLC. Yeah, and they really impressed me this week, even though it was quite obvious they were going to win that number 1 contendership match. But that's all I have to say about them. At the number 7 slot, we have Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler. This was a very impressive, but not as impressive to get higher on the placement. Shayna Baszler did beat Xia Li, and she did take out Rhea Ripley, but she didn't take her out by herself. The other two had to help out. But she really impressed me this week, and I wonder what she's going to do when she has to face Rhea Ripley in 2 weeks on September 18th. Are we going to have a new NXT Women's Championship, or will the reign of terror for Shayna Baszler continue? Next up, at the number 6 slot, we have Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin. Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin have been doing very impressive work for the past 2 weeks, and what they did this week was very, very, how do I say it? It was very controversial, because if you guys didn't know, which probably you guys know, they handcuffed Roman Reigns' hands above the the ring post, and they shoved dog food in his face and all over him. So that was very controversial because they call him the big dog, so he has to eat like a dog. And I wonder what is going to happen next week or at TLC, because we know that Roman Reigns is going to face Baron Corbin in a TLC match. Next up, we have at the number 5 slot, we have Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors. The Kabuki Warriors had a match against Charlotte Flair, and it was a very impressive, very long match, but long in a good way. Kabuki Kabuki Warriors and Charlotte have great chemistry. It's just that they work together very well. But we've seen the Kabuki Warriors win. And finally, we are getting to see the Women's Tag Team Championships defended. Well, not defended, but on TV each week. So the championships finally mean something. Not like when it was with the Iconics. When they weren't even on TV every single week, and they were mostly on the pre-show matches, or they just had surprise championship matches out of nowhere. But the Kabuki Warriors really impressed me this week. Next up, at the number 4 slot, we have the big dog, Roman Reigns. Roman, he did have an impressive match with Dolph Ziggler. It was a very impressive main event. He did end up winning. That's why he was this high on the list. And he has really been killing it ever since he won at Survivor Series. He's been really impressive. But the only thing that didn't make him get to the top 3 is when, of course, he got showered in dog food by Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler. And I was about to say Robert Roode, but Robert Roode wasn't there. But that's why Roman Reigns is at the number 4 slot. Next up at the number 3 slot, we have Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens had an amazing pipe bomb on Lana, and he has really been doing very well with his promos. Obviously, he is always a great promo guy, and I wonder what he is going to do, and wonder what he is going to say every single week. But the reason why he wasn't higher on this list, even though you really are good when you're in the top 3, is when he got attacked by the Authors of Pain. But the Authors of Pain, I really don't get where they're going with that Seth Rollins Authors of Pain thing, because Seth wasn't even out there with the Authors of Pain. So maybe they aren't going to be, like everybody says, the Shield 2.0. But I wonder what they're going to do with them. But a very good week for Kevin Owens. We have at the number 2 slot, we have Tommaso Ciampa. We have Tommaso Ciampa from NXT. He has had an impressive week. He always has impressive matches. As we've seen him, it was Tommaso Ciampa, Dominic Dijakovic, and Keith Lee against the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong, which Tommaso Ciampa is also fighting in that triple threat match next week, and maybe he could be the new NXT champion because he wants to get Goldie back, and so that's why he is at the number 2 slot. And before we get to the number 1, we always have to have honorable mentions. So we have honorable mentions. First, we have Lacey Evans, Alexa Bliss, Mia Yim, Drew McIntyre, and Rusev. All 5 of those superstars have been doing did great this week, but it wasn't enough to get them on the list. So maybe next week they'll get on the top 10 list. Lacey and Alexa have been on the honorable mentions for 2 weeks in a row. Maybe they'll do better next week. But at the number 1 slot, we have the Limitless Keith Lee. Keith Lee is probably one of the biggest NXT stars, and I think that he is going to be the one to beat Adam Cole. I think he's going to win the triple threat next week, and then he's going to win on September 18th against Adam Cole and be the new NXT champion. I mean, that guy, he is incredible. He is one of the top superstars on NXT, and I can't believe what he could do for a wrestler of his size. So that is the top 10. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully you guys agreed with my top 10. If you want to leave your top 10 in the comments down below, you could do so. Hopefully you guys like this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, champs!